morning and welcome to P&B Morning Show, where policy makes the people and the big stories shaping Nigeria are broken down with clarity and context. This morning, the political atmosphere is already shifting, even though 2027 may seem far away. Behind the scenes, meetings, strategic consultations, and subdued public signals are beginning to define the next phase of Nigeria's power game. When key political figures, start holding door-to-door talks, it's never just about courtesy. It's about positioning, influence, and the future direction of the political landscape of the country. Of course, we'll be looking at issues this morning, and issues like security. Yes, talking about at the same time, Nigerians are watching governance beyond politics. Security remains a major concern. Economic pressure are biting harder. Citizens want reforms that are not just announced but felt in several streets, real opportunities. The question many are asking is simple: are we seeing genuine transformation or carefully managed optics? Well, on P&B Morning Show, we don't just report the headlines, we interrogate them. We connect the dots between political strategy and everyday impact, because at the end of the day, governance is not a chess game for the elite. It is a lived reality for millions of Nigerians. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get into the conversation that matter. This is P&B Morning Show, informed, decisive, and always on point. I am Omike Joseph Matthew, and I'm not here alone this morning. I'm here with my colleague. Yes, Chidi.
OJ Sin.
Chidi, good morning to you.
Good morning, OJ, and good morning, viewers. Once again, you're welcome to Politics and Business Television.
Yes, it's Thursday, and today is the 26th day in the month of February.
And this is very fast.
Very, very fast.
Just like yesterday was Monday, OJ.
Honestly, and just like yesterday was the 1st of February.
just like yesterday was also Valentine.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, it's really nice, to see you this morning.
Nice to see you, OJ. You're looking very colorful.
Thank you very, very much, and you too. And of course, we have a whole lot for our audience this morning. I want to, thank you for joining us live on YouTube. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's grow this channel together, and of course, do the rightful thing so that we can address the pressing issues affecting us as citizens of this great nation. Wherever you are watching us, around the world, we want to thank you so much. Like this broadcast so that more people will be able to watch the show. So please subscribe. Please subscribe. So Chidi, we have a lot to discuss this morning.
OJ, as usual,
yes.
It's dramatic season.
Yes,
dramatic stroke political season.
Of course. So we'll be looking at the issue of the change of guard in the Nigerian police force. Yesterday, it is official that the new IGP, the acting IGP, is brand new IGP has started work, and he has started giving those promises that he thinks he can achieve. So we'll be discussing that this morning.
Well, it's expected. New IG, new policies. Try to reject the system. This is not, it's normal. When even when you marry a new wife, OJ, she has to also promise new things.
Yes.
That she's going to do better than the first wife.
Okay, and of course, we'll be looking at the 2027 realignment. Seyi Makinde and Dr. Rabi Kwankwaso met yesterday and want to look at that meeting. Is there any political undertone to it? Or is it just a courtesy visit?
OJ, you're meeting something behind closed doors.
Oh, behind closed doors.
I don't know why these meetings are not also held. They don't always hold these meetings,
at the open door.
At the open door.
Always behind closed doors.
There's something about that door. Yes. One day we need to open that door, OJ.
So we are going to look at that. Is it a political realignment? I recall that Seyi Makinde and the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar were in Mina, the top hill mansion of the former military president of the country, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, recently.
The political oracle.
Yes, and only yesterday, Kwankwaso was in the governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde's house. So what is really going on?
And knowing fully well what President represents now in terms of his relationship with the other side, other side of the divide.
Yes.
So we should understand that it's political season.
It's political season. So
the calculations and the permutations is going on.
So that's what we'll look at that in detail much later in the show. And of course, so many issues that we'll be looking at. Now, you on this show a few days ago, we discussed the issue of Walida, the young lady who is in the custody of a DSS officer.
Yes.
The breaking news this morning is that she has been released. The DSS has released her to the governor of Jigawa State.
That is what is expected, OJ.
Yes.
That is justice at work, advocacy at work. It's high time we begin to hold people responsible. You don't just take somebody's child and begin to look for, the OJ, the thing that disturbs me about this whole thing is people who do things that are wrong and still look for a way to, manage it and cover it. What is wrong, OJ. It's that time we start speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Truth to power. What is wrong is wrong. And imagine you adopted a girl allegedly, and then you are telling us the girl is 22 years. It calls for serious concern. Meanwhile, the father of the girl is telling you, I married her mother in 2007 and I gave birth to her 2008. Commonsensically, who are you supposed to believe? It's the father of the girl.
Yeah, of course.
I have a daughter. I know when I gave birth to her. You can't come and tell me because you want to cover one or two, And I'm sure after handing over the girl, I hope they're going to transfer the matter back to the jurisdiction where it happened. So that the matter will
we just hope that the issue would not just die like this.
No, it won't die. It has to serve as a deterrent to other people.
Yes.
Because who knows what others have done. Now, today we are talking about Ifeanyi. Tomorrow it can be anybody.
Yes. We don't know how many girls are, staying in marriages that are actually illegal. In Nigeria.
OJ, if you want to go by that, OJ, we have what we call Abuja marriage.
Abuja marriage. we have, of course, we have that.
Well, marriage done by proxy.
By proxy, and all that. Okay, so we'll be looking at that later, and maybe the development concerning that story. So let's go for a quick break and then look at the papers this morning. All right, welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Yes, let's dive into the papers right now. So, and of course, which one do we have? We have two steering us as we speak.
Face to face
this morning. All right, the Punch newspaper and the Daily Trust is what we have. You can see that on your TV screen. Yes, let's begin with the Punch newspaper, Chidi. Disu declares total war on police corruption, impunity. Disu declares a total war on police corruption, impunity. That's the new acting Inspector General of Police declaring the war right now.
That is huge. That's cause for concern. In fact, I'm sure when we are going to dig deep into this matter, we're going to dwell more on the different kinds of corruption that has engulfed the police force. It interests you to know that I have a very strong, affiliation and knowledge with what goes on in the police force. So, at least to a large extent, and I want to commend the brand new IG for talking tough. And I hope and I pray he's going to hit the ground running, because truth be told, there are a lot of issues, bedeviling the police force.
Yeah.
A lot of issues.
All right. So let's continue with the Punch. And of course, you see the riders there. Time's up for lawless, dirty officers, so says the new IG. And so many, riders there in that story. So check out the Punch newspaper for this story. Tinubu to Senate. Amend Constitution for state police now. Tinubu to Senate. Amend Constitution for state police now. Recapitalization. 13 banks raised to meet March 31 deadline. 13 banks raised to meet March 31 deadline. The CBN says they are hopeful that these banks will meet the March 31 deadline. But the question now is, this is Nigeria, and a lot of interest will come to play here. If they don't meet that March 31 deadline, what then will happen? The
bank will be liquidated, and probably
or the bigger ones will consume them.
Of course, there'll be a merger,
or
outright acquisition.
Yes,
as it were, like in the case of the Oceanic Bank versus the EcoBank. EcoBank actually acquired the Oceanic Bank outrightly.
Yeah,
because they couldn't meet the benchmark. So we'll stand to see how it plays out.
Yeah,
March 31st, right?
March 31st is the day.
That's what we call the D-Day of the Masterdom for the banking industry.
So it's just like maybe 32, 33 days from now. Okay, so that's coming from the banking sector there. Tinubu's executive order blocks 2 trillion naira NNPC fees. Tinubu's executive order blocks 2 trillion naira NNPC fees. So the issue of the executive order is still causing controversy. The likes of NNPC and others are still crying. Seriously.
I want to also comment on the policies of the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It seems it's a very good one at the right direction. Because looking at the state police, now after the state police, now he has extended it to the NNPC, and Pegasin is shouting, as usual. Like we said yesterday, Pegasin seems to be what we call the
opposition party.
Opposition party when it comes to the oil sector.
Okay, so let's continue the Punch quickly before we dive into the Daily Trust newspaper. Labour issues Friday ultimatum to federal government on wage arrears. Labour issues Friday ultimatum to FG on wage arrears.
Labour is at it again.
Labour.
But you see, I've been on the news. I've been on the news on the issues that concerns Labour. Joe Ajero, the Labour chairman, and they've made several threats. And I don't think we have seen anyone materialize. At some point, you hear in 2 weeks' time, in 7 days' time,
yes.
And before we know what is going on,
they'll dive into another issues.
If all of the 7 days never come to pass.
Never come to pass.
I'm still waiting for the 7 days or the 2 weeks where the labor that we used to know in the days of Adam so Shomole, we witnessed it.
Anyway,
that was what in fact he had a particular branded dress code, and he's still wearing it up to today.
Yes,
the khaki apology. What did he call it? Is it khaki apology? We hope that Friday will be Friday anyway, and let's begin to see where labor.
That is if their threat is genuine. So
let's see what
labor with federal government with their wahala.
What's happens in London? Stay in London.
They will settle themselves.
Okay, they will settle themselves. I'm not aware, OJ. I'm not aware of that.
All right, let's now go to the Daily Trust. What does the Daily Trust has for us this morning? And yes, this headline: DSS releases Walida. DSS releases Walida. So you can see that we talked about it here, and
we pressed, we pushed.
Yes.
And I want to commend our MD, Haja Madina, for also lending her voice and support. She stood her ground as a strong woman, as a mother, and with other CSOs, and we were there to ensure that justice is served. And I think we're beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a good one. It's a welcome development that our leader is being released. At least the father can see the daughter after how many years now?
Yes, as we speak, she's with the governor of her state.
And yes, I'm with it. I think with the baby too.
Yes,
with the baby.
You can see the picture of her and the baby.
Yes.
Walida is a matured woman now. You can see,
well, of course, having given birth, OJ,
and all that.
Now we'll not take it a step further to know whether she's 22. 18 or 20. So that's really the next step. I think the governor will know what to do, knowing feeling well that is a matter of national interest.
From the picture, from a picture on the front page of the Daily Trust, you know that she's a young woman.
Yes, she is.
She's a young woman. I doubt if anyway. You cannot really tell from face.
There are some.
She appears to be 18 to me.
No, there are some women with rapid growth.
Yes.
I have a daughter who is 11. If you see her, you would think she's 16.
Wow.
She's just 11. I have a daughter like that. So she's taller than me. My daughter is 11, but she's taller than me. So that's a girl child for you, especially the Gen Zs.
The Gen Zs.
Yes, I don't know what they eat. When we were small, I don't know. We were eating all kinds of. Me and you ate different things without. Well, at some point we were eating jollof rice and akamu.
All right. So the Daily Trust. Okay, other interesting stories there. Protest as El-Rufai remains in detention. Protest as El-Rufai remains in detention. Okay, El-Rufai is still in detention, and there is a protest to that. Era of impunity over IGP Diso. Era of impunity over IGP Diso. 2027, Kwankwaso meets Makinde in Ibadan. Kwankwaso meets Makinde in Ibadan. So the Daily Trust also carries that story.
So the political hemisphere from the north
is
tweeting towards the west.
Yes.
And who knows where it's going to land. At the end of the day, probably at the center.
Yes. All right. And gunmen killed 25 in twin attacks in Adamawa. Gunmen killed 25 in twin attacks in Adamawa. That's really sad, the story there. Gunmen, attacks here and there. If not in the north, it's in the south. It's really unfortunate that
OJ is becoming a resounding and recurring issue. Nigerians are beginning to get used to killings,
but we shouldn't be getting used to such things.
We shouldn't.
There's no way we should.
It is traumatic.
Yes.
You open your phones, killings. You open the television, killings. You open your radio, you tune to your radio, killings. OJ, it has a lot of negative effect on our minds. It's wrong. And when you spill innocent blood, it has a lot of effect, whether it's physically or spiritually. Whether you like it or not, the human blood is very, very sensitive. We need to look into these things every day. And sometimes I wonder how we are up to 200 million. There was a story that was told that a man escaped kidnapped in the forest. And according to the man, he ran for several kilometers. And in those distance that he covered, he saw a lot of dead bodies.
Man.
In the bush, rotting away. And the man was wondering, how are we even 200 billion? Because, yes, over 200 million. People are dying every day, OJ. In numbers.
And people are also giving birth every day. So that's just
OJ,
that's the contrast.
You're right. That's the contrast anyway.
Anyway, so that's how it is. And let's move on. Let's move on to our next issues this morning. New Telegraph and Daily Independent is up next, and let's treat New Telegraph now. Save Nigeria from collapse, end killings, fix elections. Catholic bishops to Tinubu. Save Nigeria from collapse, end killings, fix elections. Okay, so that one is coming from the Catholic bishops.
I think the religious bodies begin to lend their voices to hold government accountable. We are all, it's a collective responsibility, OJ. It should not be left alone for the media and for other, CSOs. Let the religious bodies also, because somehow the political elite have this respect for religious leaders.
Yes.
Especially those ones that are not, that has not been compromised. We have religious leaders that have been compromised, OJ. That's the truth about it. Those who go home cap in hand, after going to say Kadede, and they come back with some kind of palliatives. But for those who have kept their hands clean, it's the government, top of the official government, officials seems to have high respect for them, and they should start coming out to speak. The likes of Kuka and the rest of them, let them begin to speak loud and clear. The country belongs to all of us, for crying out loud. All
right. So let's continue with the New Telegraph, and I think there's one interesting story there that has attracted my attention. Bandits leader counters FG, insists adopted school kids ransomed for 60 million naira. 60 million naira. Bandit leader counters FG, insists adopted school kids ransomed for 60 million naira. Now we're talking about how much was the AFP reported that the federal government paid ransom and released 2 Boko Haram commanders, for the release of those
in exchange.
In exchange, yes, for the release of those St. Mary pupils that were adopted. And the federal government, through the Minister of Information, denied that such thing happens. But now the bandit leader is saying that it's even 60 million.
OJ, 60 million.
Yes.
Somebody said something jokefully. He said that banditry is not the new forest trade. And I laughed and I said, what do you mean? He said, forest trade, when you are taken to the forest and then somebody puts ransom on you, what's that? Is it not forest trade? So now banditry is the 2026 new reality forest trading. Human lives is now what we use for forest trading. You move people into the forest and you demand for money. That is forest trade.
Okay, now
and now look at it now, 60 million naira OJ for funding rascality, evil. 60 million OJ.
Now this is that is the account of the bank, but the federal government says they didn't pay anything. It's as a result of their coordinated approach to the situation.
Non-kinetic approach.
Non-kinetic approach. All those rhetorics and what have you.
When we come to these banditry issues, you begin to hear all kinds of dictions and English language that you've never heard.
Now,
non-kinetic.
Now the question is, now it is now confirmed that those that did that were rather Boko Haram members that did that. So how did Boko Haram leave Borno to Niger State to perpetrate that act?
OJ, they are everywhere in the first place. They are not only in Borno State. Boko Haram is in Plateau. Boko Haram bandits, they're in Benue, everywhere. And these guys transmit videos, make calls, using the same SIM card that you are using. So what's going on? The former minister of, what's it called? Communication and digital economy, what's his name? Patani, should be called to book to answer for some of these things. Allegedly, he should be called to book. How? Excuse me for crying out loud, OJ. These things are not. These things are not rocket science, OJ. Let's be very honest to ourselves. Somebody is posting video from the forest, and when somebody steals the phone here, and will say, IRT, police department command, will go and track that person.
Track the person.
I've seen OJ where a carpenter was tracked down to Lokoja for not returning upholstery or furniture worth 5 million naira.
Yes.
And they tracked him and brought from the village, they brought him out. These things are doable. From the interior village in Lokoja, they caught him and brought him. I was there. I saw it myself. And I was like, wow, I've seen people being tracked with all kinds of sophisticated. A woman tracked a lady that was harassing her husband, tracked her to her house from Lagos. And they arrested this girl. The Nigerian police can do it. We're not even talking of the Nigerian army. The Nigerian police can do this. The GSS can do it. You can box somebody's number and track his phone calls. If there's some offices you enter OJ, automatically your number is blocked. Whatever you are saying around that place is being recorded. So these things are available, OJ. But when it comes to issues like this, you begin to see people with, how can somebody kidnap 300 and something children?
Yes.
Do you know what it takes to carry them? We're talking about no less than 30 coastal buses. And you carry that kind of crowd unnoticed for how many hours?
Yes.
In a city where we have all kinds of military paramilitary formation like
Yes.
Kaduna, and you go scot-free like that for hours. OJ, there are some questions you should be asking. We have intelligent minds in this country. And you carry them, and the next thing you say, oh, they've rescued them. And when it's time to rescue them, you see buses bringing them. In numbers, over 20 buses. How did they carry them?
With Ashobi?
With Ashobi? OJ. OJ, you see that one you just mentioned?
Yes.
That's another.
No, it's now
with Ashobi?
It's now an enterprise. The insecurity, I call it insecurity sector. Now, you understand?
Okay, is that a sector?
It's a sector now, of course.
Because, of course, it generates revenue.
It generates revenue. You understand? So, by the time the victims are rescued, now the fashion designers will have business.
Oh, by extension?
Yes, by extension, the fashion designers will now have business.
Because somebody has to make those clothes.
The government will say, no, they will have to pimp them quickly. So, they'll now Ashobi for them. You see all of them wearing some
uniformly dressed.
Yes,
looking colorful.
Looking colorful. They look nice.
And you begin to wonder how did
some of them are wearing this thing wearing those clothes for the first time.
That is another breakthrough for them, OJ.
Yes.
Breakthrough, because some of them have not even seen beautiful dresses like that. So maybe some people will be wishing to be kidnapped.
They'll now host them in a government
house, under air conditions, feed them very well. And they'll bring the media to.
Yes, you understand.
And afterwards, we don't know what happens.
We don't know what happens.
Whether there's any empowerment.
So it's a sector.
Whether there's any, they should be empowering the OJ. Those who are skillful should be given money to do business. Like you said, it's a sector.
It's a sector.
Because money is generated.
Yes, money is being generated.
So there's IGR.
IGR is from there. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to our next paper now. Daily Independent. Restore trust, discipline in police. Tinubu tells new IG. The rider, era of impunity, abuse of human rights over diesel. Well, you can see the picture there. In fact, all the papers are carrying the picture of President Tinubu decorating the new IG. And that's a good one there. And he's been flanked by his wife, I guess.
Of course, that is how they
yes.
They call it in the military peeping. That's how it's been done. When you are being peeped, the most relevant person in your life stands side by side with either the chief, the president, depending on the rank. That's how it's been done. Right from when you are commissioned as a second lieutenant in the army, you are the most relevant person in your life. You're supposed to be part of that process.
All right. So, of course, we have other interesting stories there. FG poised to tackle states' industrial challenges. So says Chetima. That's talking about the economy now. Broadband expansion drives telecom subscription to 179 million. Broadband expansion drives telecom subscription to 179 million. That's a good one there. And external bleeding. Nigeria loses $4.1 billion as services deficit widens. Nigeria loses $4.1 billion as services deficit widens. Benin attack. APC proven to be terrorist organization, ADC. APC proven to be terrorist organization, ADC. That's the opposition party talking there.
That's what we call. That's a huge level in there.
Yes. Also, the Daily Independent carries this story. Gunmen attack church in Ondo, adopt 6 worshippers, and we understand that there is a protest regarding that this morning. So many juicy headlines there from the Daily Independent this morning. So go to the newsstand and, of course, pick any of the papers you feel interesting to you this morning. So let's move on. I think we still have more, I guess. Yes, the Nigerian Tribune. Government attack Ondo Church, adopt 6 worshippers is their banner headline there. And, of course, that's a bad one. The Nigerian Tribune also carries the picture of the decoration of the new IG.
Brand new IG.
Yes, by Mr. President there. And so many stories there. Tinubu to Diesel, you have my full support. Restore peace, lead firmly, but fairly. Okay.
Firmly, but fairly.
Yes.
That's the double F, you know. The one of them is the firm aspect of it, and the other one is the
fairly, yes,
aspect of it.
Okay. In the health sector, there is this story. The health sector, extended toilet phone use raises what? Hemohold by 46%. Researchers warn. Okay, so you don't need to be using phone in the toilet. I think that's what the report is talking about.
Talking about this using of that phone. You know, you don't use the phone in the kitchen, you don't use it in the toilet, you don't use it close to the gas cylinder, you don't use it. Well, this phone, this advent of telecommunication, that's called GSM now. I don't know if it's becoming a blessing or it's becoming something to worry about, because sometimes you carry it and there's a lot of restrictions.
Yes.
You know, and so we don't know where God will help us however, we don't need to ignore, certain information, because knowledge is power.
Yes.
What you don't know has the ability to consume you. So I think it's a good one that we cannot use phone in the toilet. It's a good one.
All right, so that's the situation with, with the Nigerian Tribune, talking about some of the juicy stories they have. They also have they carry the story of the Kwankwaso Makinde meeting yesterday.
Closed door
in closed door meeting in Ibadan.
I need that emphasis. Closed
door meeting. So 2027, Catholic bishops warn against use of state institutions to manipulate elections. Okay, so juicy stories. The Nigerian Tribune this morning. Okay, so we have the sports. Yes, let's talk sports this morning.
I can see smiles on your face, OJ.
All right, so yes, it is the Punch Sports Extra. Okay, an interesting one. Talking about the UEFA Champions League match that went down last night. Osimhen fires Gala. That's talking about Galatasaray. Past stubborn Juve. Osimhen fires Gala past stubborn Juve. So for that story, how did Osimhen do that last night? Please find out from the Sport Extra.
Well, there's nothing to ask. Osimhen is our own.
Yes.
And Osimhen has proven to be one of the best strikers in the world. It's got solo movement, solo strike. You can see it when we had the Nigerian versus Gabon. Even Nigerian versus, Osimhen is a complete striker on air, anywhere you can think of. He lifts high, not the ball, and it makes football very beautiful. All we just pray and hope for him is that he will continue to grow from strength to strength in his career.
All right. So we continue this morning. Joshua's driver's case. Joshua's driver case adjourned till March. Okay. Joshua's driver case adjourned till March. Remember, Anthony Joshua's motor accident in December.
The car crashed.
Yeah, the car crashed
in
December, where he lost two of his close friends.
Ibadan Lagos Expressway.
Yes. So the driver is on trial, and now the case has been adjourned till March. Okay. And other juicy stories coming from the Sports Extra this morning. Arsenal to pay Sporty for Gyökeres scoring. Okay. I think the clause suggests that the more Gyökeres scores for Arsenal, Sporty, where they bought him from, will be getting some of the pounds. So
that would encourage him to score more.
Yes. All right. So Vinicius scores winner to silence Benfica. Vinicius scores winner to silence Benfica. You know the drama between Benfica and Real Madrid.
That's the Mourinho, the special one.
Yes, all the drama surrounding that match. So yesterday, Real Madrid scaled through to the last of 16, and Vinicius Junior silencing the Benfica fans yesterday by scoring the decisive goal that took his team.
Vinicius is one of the best players we have in the world, undoubtedly.
Of course.
That. Very good, and fast, creative, tricky, and very skillful as well. So you expect such brilliant players that can make some form of individual, performance that can decide a match, like in the days of Ronaldo's and the days of Messi. When the Chiefs are down, when there's no way out, some of these players can decide the match for you.
Yeah,
and that is why they buy them expensive, OJ.
Yeah, of course. Okay, let's still dwell on that. Yes, Vinicius Junior, and the story still surrounds the issue of Mourinho hiding somewhere, and nobody, even the president, knew that he was in the state or something like that. So the English
I think Mourinho is the coach of Benfica.
Of Benfica, yes.
At home, I think they won Real Madrid.
No, Real Madrid won then 1-0, and Madrid now won then yesterday by 2-1. So
was it home and away?
Yes, home and away. Yes.
Okay.
Match. Okay, so it's home and away. So that's why Madrid are now into the next round of the UEFA Champions League. So on that note, so we just have to go for a quick break. Now, when we return, we'll dwell on other issues this morning on the P&B Morning Show. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, so welcome back to the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television. Now, we're looking at our very first topic of the day, and we'll be joined at the top of the hour by a security consultant. So we'll be dwelling on this topic for us this morning. But before then, before he joins us, the Chidi is in the studio. We're talking about the new IG. Can the new IG deliver? Can the new Inspector General of Police deliver? Is the big question that we will be asking this morning. So Chidi, we actually talked about the new IG, and officially he is working now. He was decorated yesterday, and you can see the pictures while we're discussing. Reviewing the news, the newspapers
and the promises as well.
Okay, so he's talking tough. And the president has charged him to be firm and be fair, in his dealings. So, what can he bring to the table?
All right, OJ, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Njidusi, the brand new IGP in acting capacity, right?
Yes.
I want to say congratulations to him. I also want to commend the president too for also standing by him and telling him, "Go, I am with you." There's a proverb in my place that when a father sends the child on an errand or to go and the child gets there with so much confidence, because he has the backing of the father. And I want to commend the president for standing strong and behind, the IG. That means the IG has nothing to fear. However, I also want to commend the IG himself, the brand new acting IG, Njidusi, for talking tough. But I want to appeal to him. Let this, talking tough translate to action, especially in the area of internal challenges and corruption and what have you going on in the Nigerian police force. I also want to comment on Egbetekun, to a large extent, the outgoing IG. He did a yeoman's job. He did a very good job in curbing and reducing, especially in the area of extorting, citizens. When you go to police stations or what you call the police division, you will see boldly written, "Bail is free." OJ, bail is never free anywhere. I can say it loud and clear. Bail is not free anywhere.
So, are you saying that the IGP should look into that?
Yes, OJ, that is just the tip of the iceberg. We have a lot. If I begin to go into them detail, if time will permit me, I'll begin to tell you a lot of things going on. For example, you write a petition to the Nigerian police. Do you know that there are certain amounts that cannot be handled by certain division? You write a petition, you need to sponsor the petition, you need to mobilize. I'm telling you, the Nigerian police needs to be funded. OJ, when you go to several divisions down there, you see how they suffer. The divisional police officer, popularly called the DPO,
yes,
have to literally beg some people to help them, give them light, give them certain logistics. I am speaking authoritatively. But it happens you can go to the division at, some divisions, especially the one at the local Goma,
Yes,
the brand new division. You see, and you see when you allow big individuals donate certain things to the, to the police. Sometimes I don't know if truly you can arrest such a person when he commits a crime. OJ, if I give you laptop, I buy clothes, I give you your clothing, I pay you good money, I give you incentives. OJ, sometimes you'll be tempted not to, arrest me when I commit crime.
yes.
And these are the things we need to discourage.
Yes.
The government should fund the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police should be well paid. You will see somebody who is, a suspect being detained unlawfully, attending to matters that are not of police interest, civil matters. You see all kinds of issues.
That is, and that brings the issue of the impunity we are talking about.
It's huge, OJ, right?
And the new IGP actually talked on that yesterday. The days of impunity is over, and this is part of it.
You're right, OJ. If you apply for CTC, I have applied for CTC before. OJ, trust me, you need to pay. OJ, the police will not go and make arrest for you if you don't enable him. I stand to be corrected. Sometimes there is no fuel in the vehicle to even go and make arrest.
But
you see a policeman carrying AK-47
but
on
you say
him.
people pay for bail, right?
People
But they pay for bail, but they don't use this money to buy fuel for themselves.
They don't know, OJ, they do. But you see, it is not supposed to be so. OJ, you see a police officer with AK-47. Do you know what that is? On a bike or Okada. Somebody can snatch that gun. And you see, the police force is trying. The police force is doing their best because they are badly underfunded. And you want to write statements and you have to pay for that paper. Oga bring money for statement too, for paper. Oga paper no day. OJ, in the night, in a lot of police divisions, we don't have light.
That's serious.
Then you don't want to talk about this, the cells, where they put the police cell.
Filthy.
You arrest somebody and you detain the police after 2 days. And if you don't go there to facilitate either, the other process to charge him to court, the police is most likely to grant him bail because the police will tell you who is going to feed him. He's going to be feeding those inmates. The policeman will be the one to generate money to feed people, suspects inside the cell, generate money to put fuel in the vehicle, generate money to go for investigation. OJ, one of the greatest fear the policeman has is investigation. If you want to make any high-profile arrest, for example, somebody carted away with your 2 million naira or whatever, and the person is outside Abuja. Yes. OJ, maybe the person is in a Niger state or somewhere around the east. OJ, you are likely to pay over 500,000 naira to mobilize for arrest.
Then what's the need?
So sometimes when you bring an issue of 300,000 naira to the police, and it will cost you over 200,000 naira to make arrest, you just abandon that issue.
Wow.
One of the problems, again, I've noticed is that you go, oh, my car is stolen. OJ, the IPO, or what they call him, investigating police officer,
yes,
will spend hours trying to question you. Why they are questioning you, asking you 1 or 2 questions, the thief has run away with your car and gone far.
The more they delay you, the more problem you have.
And this your car, that brings to the fact that the vehicle inspection organization called the VIO should have a synergy with the police in terms of documentation of vehicles. It should be in your system the way it is. When you get to the police force and you complain about car theft, they just punch it on the computer, and your car, the color of your car, plate number, everything pops up.
Yeah.
We should go digital. Maybe what will be the color of your car? The plate number. You say now where it happened, which time. Okay, sit down first. Calm down. And the thief is going far with your vehicle. These things are the issues. Government, I want to appeal to the government to also fund the police, give them the necessary logistics. What stops the federal government from building 1,000 housing in 36 states?
By the way, we'll look at
these are issues. You see, have you seen where the police?
A lot of issues.
Have you seen where police is living?
No, I have relatives that are in the force, a lot of them. All right, so with the rising security concerns and growing public demand for police accountability, just like what Chidi has been saying all this while, and of course, funding for the police. All eyes are now on the new leadership of the Nigeria Police Force following the exit of Kayode Egbetekun and the appointment of Tunji Diso. So expectations are high that this transition will mark more than just a change of guard. So from promises of reform and professionalism to restoring public trust and tracking crime decisively, or tackling crimes decisively, can the new Inspector General of Police truly translate words into measurable change? So this morning we examine whether this new era in policing will deliver real transformation or simply more of the same. So we are being joined virtually this morning in this discussion by Ambassador Ishiaka Haruna. He is a security analyst and, of course, is a public safety advocate and founder Adumoha Safety Consciousness Foundation. Good morning to you. Okay, I guess he's yet to join us, and once we have him, we'll of course let you know about that. If Ishaka is with us, please let us know. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, nice to have you this morning.
Nice having me. Good morning.
Okay,
good morning.
Good morning. So that's really good. Yes, Ambassador Ishaka, let's dive into the issue this morning. How did you receive the news of Tunji Diso becoming the new IG, whether in an acting capacity or whatever? The most important thing is that he's the number one man today when it comes to the police force in Nigeria. It was decorated yesterday by the president. So tell us your reaction hearing the news that he will be taking over from Egbetekun.
Well, thank you so much. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to Olatunji Grade 1 Disu, the 23rd Inspector General of Police, following his appointment by the president, and assuming office yesterday, being 25th of February 2026. So it's a good development. And I am so impressed that upon assuming office yesterday, can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. So in his first statement yesterday, he outlined a clear agenda of rebuilding trust in the Nigerian police, which is highly commendable.
Okay. All right. So what do you now expect from the IG? Do you think he can deliver those promises yesterday? And one of those things is the issue of impunity in the force. Can he deliver in his promises?
Well, this has a strong foundation to deliver meaningful progress.
Okay.
If it translates promises into actions. Now, amongst the pledges he made yesterday upon assuming duty was zero tolerance to impunity, corruption, and human rights abuse. Now, I will clearly tell you that there is no straitjacket solution to the rate of impunity in the Nigerian police. It requires a gradual process. And having served the Nigerian police for 30 years in several units, I have implicit confidence in him that he is going to make a reasonable adjustment to ensure that the rate of impunity in the Nigerian force, corruption, and human rights abuse, which has called for several engagement over the years. So I believe he can deliver.
Okay. I have my colleague here in the studio, Chidi,
Yes.
who is conversant with the activities of police. I don't know if you have any question for him quickly before.
All right, Mr. Ishaku, once again, you're welcome. And I want to also commend you and align myself with the fact that you spoke so well about the ability of the new acting IG to deliver in his promises, looking at his foundation. Am I correct?
Very well, very well.
Okay, but let me ask you this question now. Other IGs have also had good foundations, and they came in, they talked tough, and the problems still persist. What do you think this IG will do new, especially in the area of the welfare of the police officers? You know, in the police force, we have the cadets and we have what we call the colo. The colo are those ones that the rank and file. So what do you think this new IG will make? What difference is it going to make in the welfare, you know, the welfare aspect of the Nigerian police, especially the rank and file?
You see, thank you so much for that sensitive question. This current IGP is regarded as a policeman's policeman by the rank and file, looking at his, diverse, field of experience and reputation in the Nigerian police. You see, he's not an administrative staff in the Nigerian police.
He's a combatant police.
So he has worked in the several. Thank you very much. So he's conversant with the problem facing the Nigerian police, most especially the welfare. You see, the welfare of the Nigerian police is something I've always, draw the attention of the government to, because, if the welfare, the process of impunity in the police is as a result of low morale. Their welfare, if it's properly taken care of, you will discover that the rate of impunity and corruption will be reduced to the minimal level. So I believe the current IG of police, understand the impact of low welfare in the Nigerian police. So he's going to address it, and we should also give him the necessary support. That is having confidence in him.
Okay. Let me also go to the area of abuse of human rights. Different police, facilities. What we call the division, what we call the Nigerian police stations. When you go there, you see suspects being beaten up, injured. What do you think the IG can do to stop that at that level? Because when you visit some stations that I have visited, you see the way allegedly suspects have been malhandled, beaten like over nothing.
So talking about the issue of human rights.
Human rights.
Yes.
So what do you think?
Do you think it's something that he should address?
It's something he should address.
Of course. You see, over the years, we have had encounter with several cases of, suspects being treated like a culprit. A suspect is someone that is, alleged to have committed a crime until proven guilty by the court of law. But in most cases, we have discovered that, when you go to several, police stations, some suspects will exist 48 hours being tortured.
I've seen 13 days. I've seen 13 days, Mr. Ishaku.
Yes. So like I told you earlier, it's a gradual process.
Okay.
It cannot be achieved in a day. And if the police as an institution are willing to work with the current IGP, which I believe, the highlights of comments on social media, prove his credibility of handling this position. So I believe with time, the rate of impunity, the way the suspects have been maltreated is going to, to reduce.
But now, in the face of rising insecurity, does the IGP have sufficient operational, independence and resources to deliver meaningful reform in this regard?
Well, I believe Mr. President, has charged the IG, the IGP to be fairly and fairly in the discharge of his duty. The IGP cannot achieve the success of security alone without the support of the government. So I believe by adopting modern technology, intelligence, led approach, is going to make a meaningful success in the fight against insecurity. So I also encourage the Nigerian citizens to support the Nigerian police with credible and vital information. You see, the police are not magicians to know who is who at your environment. But by providing timely information, intelligence-based information to the police accurately, it will enable them to deliver their constitutional function.
Okay, Mr. Ishako, I have two more questions, but let me ask you the first one before we go to the second question. Now, the first question is this. Do you see this appointment, does it have any connection with the forthcoming 2027 elections? Some people will say it's becoming a trend that when the elections is getting closer, we want to see new, change of guards in so many security architecture. So do you see any connection? Does this have any connection with the 2027 preparation for 2027 elections?
Well, personally, people would always have their diversified view about appointments. And to me, the previous, IGP was long overdue. And, you could see people were, protesting, clamoring that, he should be, retired. So personally, I don't see any particular affiliation to his appointment. And I believe he deserves, the appointment given to him.
Okay, I'm talking about deserving the appointment. He was born on the 13th of April, 1966. And that means he has 48 more days to turn 60. And going by the Police Act, when you are 60, you are due for retirement. What do you make out of that? Yes, April this year, 13th of April, he's due for, he will be 60. What do you think? Are you saying that he's going to be the acting IG for the next 48 days, or the government might likely, extend his stay? Looking at the, retirement age that is penciled for, civil servants. Either you've served 35 years or you're 60. So what do you make of that?
What will happen at the end of the day? Do you think his stay in the force will be prolonged beyond the mandatory?
He's smiling already.
Yes.
Well, like you said earlier, his retirement, he should retire by the, 30th of April this year. But that will be at the discretion of the president who appointed him. So, like I told you earlier, if he's able to deliver to ensure there is security of life and property, and introduce possible reforms in the country, I don't think extending his tenure will be a crime. So it's a welcome development.
Okay, the last question before I hand over to my colleague here, I just want to ask you, do you see, we have other, capable police officers like the likes of Frank Omba, who is 52 years old, and is a DIG currently now, and we other fine officers too who has experience, and we have now Tunde Juicy, who is the acting IGP. Obetekun left is from the southwest. Tunde Juicy is also from the southwest. Do you see, some will say, oh, there's some form of ethnic coloration in the choice of appointments when it comes to sensitive positions like the chief of army staff, the police, IGP, and the rest of them. Do you align yourself with such? Do you see anything like that?
Well, I don't align myself with such a perception. What I believe in mostly as a public safety advocate is to see that an appointment is duly given to whomever it's due to. So the current, acting IGP coming from the southwest, with the previous IGP, does not have any impact.
So competence is what matters. Competence is what matters.
Deliver. Let us see change in the system.
Okay. All right, Ambassador Ishiaku, let's quickly look at the performance of the last IG. Give us your own assessment of the past administration of Egbetekun, because you're talking about change. So, is there anything wrong with the last IG that
it's not doing well,
that you think this we should address this time around? So, what's your take on the last administration of the past IG?
Well, like I said earlier, I told you that there is no straitjacket solution to solving insecurity in Nigeria. It's a gradual process. And I have respect to the previous IG, Ekayode Egbetekun. He put in his best, and he achieved successes, records of security successes across the state. But yet, more approaches, more solutions to our security challenges can still, be brought to the table. So I commend his effort so much. I don't have anything against him. So he has done his best, and posterity will be fair to him.
All right, we must, thank you very, very much, Ambassador Ishiaku Haruna. Ishiaka, I beg your pardon. Ishiaka Haruna, for joining us this morning on the P&B Morning Show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay. Of course, Ambassador Ishiaka Haruna is a public safety advocate and the founder Adomoha Safety Consciousness Foundation. You are still there. Can you tell us what this foundation is all about?
Okay, yes. This Adomoha Safety Consciousness Foundation is a safety-oriented organization that provides safety awareness training to ameliorate the rate of safety illiteracy in the society. We organize safety workshops to secondary schools and organizations so as to complement the frantic efforts of the law enforcement agency. As a criminologist by discipline, we believe when people become safety conscious, it will reduce the rate of vulnerability to crime in society.
Okay.
And over the years, many cases we see how people are falling victims. The police cannot do it alone. So it requires a collective effort. And we have achieved, a lot of successes across the state, Abuja, Kogi State, and Nasarawa State. And we hope to expand our tentacles across to other states.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ambassador Ishiaka Haruna, for that. For giving us an insight into your foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you this morning. Okay. So talking about all right, thank you. So talking about safety, in Abuja here, a lot of people are safety conscious these days. Nobody trusts anybody anymore, particularly motorists in this town. And I think I know he's also coming from that angle. I know a former colleague who has refused to take up jobs. Okay, I know jobs as a result of the amount they're going to pay her. Some organizations are offering some tangible amount of money that would be good, but she said she can never board the public transport to work. So she prefer hailing service. So you know how much that costs. So cost. Yes, like Uber and what have you. At the end of the day, how much will you pay her? So that has now become an issue. So it is the issue of safety You understand? There are people who never enter public transport because of their experiences. Every day we hear issue of one chance and all that, and you know,
OJ,
so
it interests you to know that one of the biggest challenge that borders around safety has to do with psychology.
Okay.
Psychology is key. Very key when it comes to safety. You know, if you, I've studied carefully those people who fall prey to one chance passengers. Some of them are not focused when they want to enter they are not concentrated before they enter that vehicle.
Really?
They're not sensitive. Before you enter a vehicle, sometimes within a split of seconds, you should look around. Look at the setting. Look at the faces. I have seen somebody that will enter a vehicle with men with haggard faces. And you still see that kind of sitting arrangement. You will enter. Somebody will come down a man will come down, hefty man will come down.
I ask you to enter.
And you will enter.
And you enter. Okay, ask you to go in.
As a person, you need to be sensitive and smart. Before you can be secured. It is a two-way thing. There's the God factor. Yes, God protects us, but you also need to protect yourself by being sensitive. You cannot live let me give you an example. People don't understand why when you've been arrested by the police, certain questions have been asked. For example, they ask you, what primary school did you attend? You said, I went to so primary school let me say, for example, in Warri. And they say, which secondary school? You say, I went to a particular secondary school in Benin. And which university? You say, I went to university, maybe a University of Ekpoma. And so somebody's accusing you of something that is close to, the police will begin to have an idea that probably you grew up in an environment that is tough. And that is why people have been addressed as Warri boys. Oh, this person is a Warri boy. Oh, this is an Abuja boy. This is a Lagos boy. Environment matters a lot. When you see a Lagos boy, a typical Lagos boy is in a hurry to hit his target. Because in Lagos, you don't even have the roads to drive. So security in itself psychology has a lot of role to play in security. You need to secure yourself first. You need to be smart. You need to be observant. Before even the police can save you, you need to be observant. OJ, you just cross. Okay, you want to cross the road, and you don't look at the left and right. You just cross. You'll be knocked down by a vehicle.
Of course,
there are measures you need to take as a person for you to be secured yourself. And you go to some houses that are, that armed robbers came to boggle their houses. They don't have lights outside. No bulb. No bulb. Everywhere is black and dark.
Yes, so they can just infiltrate and
come in. Of course, you don't have burglaries on your windows and you don't have bulbs. I've visited a lot of crime scenes and they say, oh, they came to boggle my house, and you go there, OJ, no light, no bulb anywhere. Everywhere is dark. No burglary. The door is not even looking strong. Come on now, you are inviting thieves on your own.
So, I think the new IG also has, a lot to do concerning this issue of one chance here in Abuja. This is the capital city, but Abuja is becoming a lawless city when it comes to crime.
One chance,
and this one chance issue is number one. Like a lot of people are saying, okay, it should be the job of the FCT minister to address. But of course, I think something has to be done. The IG resides here in Abuja. We expect that should be his top priority. But he's talking about corruption and impunity
in the police
How
force.
about the safety of the city where you are headquarters?
OJ, something you mentioned before I go to that one chance. The issues in life are like staircase. There's the root cause, there's the remote cause, and the other factors. Let's start from the remote cause. You mentioned something very important, OJ, in the course of your discussion. There are some jobs that gives room for all this rubbish going on, all these things happening. OJ, if you go, when I was working in a particular place, 10 p.m. I'm going home, you see single girls struggling for vehicles to go home by 10 p.m. Because they want to make ends meet.
Yes.
11 p.m. you see some employees, some companies will employ people and keep them up to 11 p.m.
Not minding their safety.
You don't mind it, and you don't even give them company vehicle to take them home.
No.
And you go to the Keke Park, the Okada Park, the Moto Parks, you go on the streets, you see them looking for vehicles to go home. 11 p.m. OJ. And of course, these nocturnal period, or time, mine, is where this whole one chance seems to be happening. You know, and I want to encourage IGP to come out with a stiffer punishment for one chance, you know, criminals. Because if you look at it now, this, what they call it, the citizens, the people are beginning to take the laws into their hands.
Yes.
Apart from one chance, what of the urchins?
The urchins too. Yes, here in the city, yeah.
That's a OJ, you go and park your car by area 1.
They are lawless.
You want to help somebody. Somebody will come and jack the door of your car.
You are carrying
seize your car key.
Someone who cannot afford to buy a car.
It has not even trained. And you remove plier that is going to stab you. Or screwdriver. And people will be watching you.
In some cases, some police officers will be there watching and they will not do anything.
OJ, in the case of Nyanya, you see police officers looking at you.
Yes.
Nyanya bus stop. They can't even harass him. They can't talk to him. An urchin, what we call agbero,
yes,
is a big problem in Abuja. I want to challenge the current IG to start with agberos. You go to area 1. I was there when my friend's vehicle was arrested. I went there to assist. OJ, I have to beg them, because why did I beg them? I saw police officers coming to rescue a particular vehicle, and they refused to release that vehicle to him. They even told him that, oh God, look, some of us here are dismissed soldiers. We can handle this gun that you are handling. Urchins, agberos, telling police that. OJ, can I shock you what happened in my presence one day at area 1 roundabout? Quote me. I was going to Suleja, and I was being careful not to enter one chance because I've not gone to Suleja for a long while with a public vehicle. So that day I decided to go with a public transport. I was scared. Anyone that stopped and said Suleja, I would look and look and look. I was just observing. Do you know what the one of the urchins there loading the vehicles, what we call the agberos, loading the vehicles? He said, oh God, this one maybe I one chance. We know them. We know them. So in my mind, I was like, wow, you know the ones that are doing into this one chance. So why can't you supply this information to the police?
They are collaborators, perhaps.
Perhaps, my brother.
Yes. I
heard that from his mouth. I can tell you the location, the roundabout after area 1, the next roundabout that links you to Games Village. That axis. Yes. That was where this thing happened. Wow. That statement came out from his mouth, from an urchin, from an agbero. Yes. That, okay, no worry. This one may be one chance. We know them. If you see that, I know them. We know them. So in my mind, I said, so you know them. So these people are not spirits. They are human beings. Yes. Let the police, I will advise the police to work hand in hand with these agberos to supply them information, since 1 or 2 of them seems to know them, so we can flush them out. You see how brutal these guys are. Push someone on a moving vehicle. We've seen cases of people dying by Kubwa Express, probably because they refuse to comply with their demands, and they push them out, and people just die like that. I think there was a case of one girl last time. Of a nurse, yeah. Yes, a nurse. Very popular case like that. So these are the areas I want, in as much as I commend the new IG, acting IG, for, wading into internal corruption and, impunity. Yeah. Let him also extend it to, these happenings in our society. This is Abuja. This is Abuja. It has to be safe for everyone. It has to be safe for everyone.
Okay, we'll be going for a quick break. When we return after the break, of course, we'll bring more to you. We'll have a lot to discuss on the show. This is the P&B Morning Show. All right, welcome back. This is the PMB Morning Show. Studemino Omike, Joseph, Matthew, and Chidi is also right here. Now, as political calculations quietly gather momentum ahead of 2027, a closed-door meeting between Seyi Makinde and Rabiu Kwankwaso is already stirring conversations across the country. The Oyo State Governor and the national leader of the NNPP met privately in Ibadan, fueling speculation about possible alliances, shifting loyalties, and emerging power blocks. Is this just a routine consultation between two influential figures, or the early signs of a major political realignment? So this morning, we're examining what this high-level engagement could mean for position politics, regional influence, and the battle lines ahead of the 2027 general elections. And we'll be joined by, of course, a political analyst, a person of Abraham Unaji, will be joining us virtually this morning. Abraham, are you there? Good morning to you. Okay, I think we're yet to have Abraham. Once he joins us, we will let you know. Chidi, yes, let's talk about this
Closed door meeting
stuff this morning. Yes, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso in Ibadan yesterday, and had a closed door meeting with the Oyo State governor in person of Seyi Makinde. But after the closed door meeting, Kwankwaso said, he was in the city to commission the NNPP secretariat in the city, and he said he wants to just say, hey, hello to the governor. After he was in the PDP before he joined, APC and so on and so forth and all that. Now, let's analyze this movement, this meeting between these two gladiators, whether we like it or not.
All right, Kwankwaso was the former governor of Kano State,
Yes.
as we all know.
Yes.
And he has a very strong followership and even a brand called the Kwankwasia.
Yes.
And that you can see, in his cap. That's a symbol.
Yes.
Just like
it's like a movement.
It's a movement, just
Yes.
like we have the city boys.
Yes.
The Asiwaju's,
the emerging city boys.
The emerging city
because
boys.
you cannot equate city boys with the Kwankwasia
Kwankwasia
or the obedient movement at the moment. City boys, have they even started? Have they really?
We have alternative now, the village boys.
The village boys, but that's by the way. Let's move to the.
So Kwankwaso is like you said, is a notable and respected political figure.
Yes.
As long as Nigeria is concerned, and then Kano State as well, knowing fully whether he has large followers. And he went to visit. He went to, like he said, he went to Oyo State to commission the office of the NNPP. Either way, it's a visit because you cannot enter such environment, such a high-profile personality without the knowledge of the governor. And the governor is the chief security officer of the state.
Yeah.
So there are certain protocols that must be observed. The likes of Kwankwaso cannot just enter, a place like Oyo State without the consent or without the knowledge. At least the governor should know. The sitting governor should know. So be that his may, even though he tries to underplay or underscore the fact that it was not a political visit, he just went to do his own thing, the governor is aware either way. So it's a closed-door meeting like we all had, and it's one of those things we see when we come to these political seasons. A lot of drama, a lot of calculations. Everything is centered and geared towards 2027, OJ, whether you like it or not. And it's like a chess game. Everybody's throwing out his or her own, gimmicks to achieve one thing, to sit at the center. And we don't know the content of their discussion, but want to believe it is also politically related, whether we like it or not. And Makinde is a strong PDP man. In fact, a very strong and unrepented one. And some even though some are saying that the PDP is having some underground alignment with the APC, we don't know how true that is.
That is a faction of it. The faction that aligns with the minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike.
Okay.
Yes. So we have two factions. And we have the Wike faction and the other faction that Makinde belongs to.
So if it's not that's a very controversial one. OJ, because the minister of the FCT seems to be, even though he belongs to a faction of the PDP, but we can see certain things that he's doing in favor of the APC. So we don't really know where he actually belongs. But we can also call him.
So let's look at the meeting with Kwankwaso.
Yes,
and of
the
course,
meeting, of course.
Kwankwaso before now had said that he doesn't mind joining any platform that will give him the presidential ticket or the vice presidential ticket. So his meetings with a PDP, governor. We all know that Makinde is like eyeing the #1 seat of the land, which is the presidency in 2027, and all the talks surrounding him. Although last week or so, Makinde was in Mina, in former military president's house, General Ibrahim Babangida, retired, with, of course, the former vice president, President Atiku Abubakar. And there are a lot of talks going around that, okay, Makinde and Atiku Abubakar had a talk in Abibi's house, and the speculation is that Atiku Abubakar will want Makinde to jump ship from PDP to the ADC, and he could use him as a running mate. And there is, and Makinde pledged a certain amount of money, allegedly, let me use your phrase, 10 billion naira that is going to put into the campaigns if Atiku Abubakar can make him his running mate. All those speculations, although Makinde himself has come out to deny whether such discussion we actually had with VP Atiku Abubakar. And now Kwankwaso is with Makinde. Is it that maybe Kwankwaso has gone, maybe part of the discussion yesterday, the closed door discussion yesterday, could be that, okay, if you can make me, if you can make me your VP when the PDP convention will be holding, because even the Wike faction are already kicking, already trying to destabilize the other faction of the PDP who wants to hold convention also sometimes in March or April or so. Makinde might likely be the front runner for the presidential ticket. Then, so perhaps Kwankwaso is there to say, I don't mind becoming your VP.
OJ, well, I might disagree a little bit, because the last time some said that when the Obedient Movement, the Labour Party presidential candidate P2B, some people were like, oh, he approached Kwankwaso. We don't know how true that is or that was. And the Kwankwaso declined based on age, looking at the fact that, oh, I cannot be the deputy or the vice president to someone that I'm older than. That was what was reported allegedly then. So coming back again to say that maybe he might probably wants to be the vice presidential candidate of Makinde is another cause for another concern, because a man who refused to consent to a presidential candidate in the past, who is, younger than him, do you think he's going to do that again now? So these are the controversies.
Do you really take politicians by their words? They may say something today and tomorrow they change. Now, looking at the political landscape, does Kwankwaso stand the chance of winning a presidential ticket in any platform other than the NNPP that is in crisis, even in Kano State?
Kwankwaso will not stand a chance as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so if another platform, ADC or PDP, now gives him the opportunity of becoming a vice, to become a running mate to someone, you think
it depends on the running mate to who? That is another calculation.
Yeah, so
because now the power is in the south.
That is why the papers are very, very concerned with his visit to Makinde yesterday.
Makinde is from the southwest, OJ.
Yes,
and the current president is from the southwest.
Yes, and of course 2027. Everybody know that the south
has to finish the remaining 4 years.
Yes.
Now we still have the Obedient Movement to contend with.
Yes, are they not part of the south?
Yes, and it's in the ADC. So the calculation is going to, what I'm trying to say is that the calculation is a little bit going to be very tough, and you have to be, and ADC needs to be careful, because we are looking at the calculation needs to be balanced, and it needs to be cut across all sectors of the country, because already we have the APC sitting down there even though we are hearing some rumors or form of information that the current Vice Chair, President Shetima, might not be carried along in the next 2027. We don't know how true that is, like some say so. But ADC needs to be careful. Needs to be careful. It's not about visiting, even though APC is gathering more governors. APC is also doing their own calculation. So it's calculation left and calculation right, here and there. But they need to be careful so they don't get it wrong. Because I would advise the members of ADC, some of them should lower their, pride and their ambition if they want to succeed. Because there are some people who say, if you don't give this person this ticket, forget it. And the APC is waiting consciously to see them make that wrong political calculation, OJ. Once they get it wrong there, forget it. APC will clinch it the election one time. So ADC need to be careful to get it right, because this about Nigerians are waiting to watch. I don't want to mention the name of a particular candidate. I know of a candidate that, okay, let me even say the obedient movement. I know that the obedient movement will not follow anybody if the ticket is not given to P2B.
Look,
I know that for sure.
I
know that
let's even talk about that. See, the condition that I actually don't know. I'm not trying to undermine the obedient movement, okay? But their stance on issues of Peter Obi and what he should do is becoming unbecoming. Why would a so-called movement said our principal, this is what our principal must accept or else? You don't do that. It's something you need to be diplomatic with your approach in everything in life, as a person and even as a group. Look, I'm not trying to say Peter Obi cannot be the president of this country, or should not be the president of this country. In fact, he's one of the most qualified person to be the president of this country. But if the current situation or scenario perhaps does not favor him, you and I know that if the next primaries, the primaries of the ADC comes up, and Atiku Abubakar refuses to drop for Peter Obi, and they all contest the primaries, the likely candidates to clinch the ticket from ADC will be Atiku Abubakar.
That's what I'm talking about, the calculation, OJ.
Do you understand?
That ADC needs to be careful.
Atiku Abubakar. And now the obedient are now saying presidential ticket or nothing else.
No, OJ, that's not the case. That's not. You are correct.
Then what happens?
OJ, you are correct, but you have to look at it this other way. Some say, okay, that no, the South has to complete that 8 years. Anybody from the South, that 8 years, they have to complete.
It is not written. It is not written in any book anywhere.
No,
that the presidency must come from a certain part of the country. This is an arrangement by the politicians verbally, not written in any book.
I agree with you, OJ.
You understand? It's not in our constitution. It's not anywhere. But the issue the presidency must come from south, must come from north, or must come from west or east. Is not written anywhere. In fact, it is the PDP who started all this. So we don't expect other political parties to start dwelling on that.
OJ, zoning is a gentlemanly agreement in principle. It is not written that I agree with you, but it's a gentlemanly agreement in principle. Yes. Zoning, even at the state level, is being practiced. States like Enugu, they don't joke with it. Anambra, they don't joke with it. That is why the likes of Okachuku did not win the election against Soludo. You don't joke with it. It's a gentlemanly agreement in principle. It's something that, even though it is not documented, but you know it as a citizen of that state, that it is turn by turn. And the whole idea is to ensure that development is evenly distributed. When the power comes to seems to come to your zone, you're likely to produce more, government officials from there, and development trickles down like that. So it's just to strike a balance in this even distribution of development in the state, likewise in the country too. Now we have the president from the Southwest. You can see that most of the political appointees or offices.
President from the South.
Yes, from the South, sorry. From the South. You can see that most of the political appointees are from the South. Projects too. If you are the Senate president today, there are some projects that will come to your place for being the Senate president. Even you are the speaker. So these are political calculations and settlements that are not written in any document, but it's just an agreement in principle.
Okay, so looking at the meeting between Kwankwaso and Makinde's meeting now. So if that meeting is anything to go by, would the way the media is like
projecting
it as it were now.
Yes.
Makinde from the south, Kwankwaso from the north, and in 2031, you expect the presidency to now shift to the north.
Most likely.
And then Kwankwaso can now come out for the presidency if, for instance, if he aligns with Makinde and they win the next election. That is like the simple calculation that a lot of people are looking into the meeting yesterday.
That is why it remains a calculation. The calculation is not the actualization, IJ. It's just a calculation.
But in politics, you have to calculate.
Yes, of course. Even the president I hope you know President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of the most strategic politicians we have in Nigeria. He's been in the corridors of power for over 30 years, from the days of Abiola, Nedeko, down to this time. So that was when he came out and said, it's my turn. It became his turn, because this is a man who did not get to that place by happenstance or circumstance. He got there with a strong roadmap. President Bola, give it to President Bola Tinubu. You need to study his political strategy. Calls for serious study. He's a political scientist by default. He knows the game. He's a player. He knows the game. At some point, he was appearing to be as someone who is not medically fit, but we'll see him today. He's healthy, strong, talking, delivering, making strong policies, and the rest of them. So, whatever ADC is doing, they should know that they are up and against a strong political guru who understands this game. It is the first time we're having a party is having about 29 to 30 governors.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, do we have Abraham now on the line? Okay, I think we are yet to. Okay, Abraham is yet to join us. We are expecting Abraham Unaji to join us and, of course, have his say on this discussion. You're still watching live the P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the program P&B Morning Show right here on Politics and Business Television. Abuja. Nomiki, Joseph, Matthew, and Chidi Kenneth is also in the building. Yes, we're discussing so many things. And before the break, we'll be looking at the meetings between Sheyi Makinde, the governor for your state, and of course, Rabiu Kwankwaso, as you can see there on your screen. Now, we'll come back to that because we're still expecting our guests to join us. Abraham Unaji is having difficulty joining us virtually to discuss this very important topic. So while we'll try and come back again to this topic, let's quickly dive into the issue of corruption. Now, Chidi, there is this interesting story that I want us to, talk about. The issue of corruption this morning. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission yesterday arraigned 3 senior officials of the Nigerian Railway Corporation before the Lagos High Court sitting in Ikeja over alleged fraud, corruption, and money laundering amounting to over 2.04 billion naira.
Railway Corporation again.
Yes, we don't. Our railways are not working. How do they get this money?
You know why I said
for
railway?
them to siphon or to steal 2.4 billion. Do you know how much that can do? It can feed the railway to a large extent.
And we are talking about Lagos here, where you have one of the, you know, some. Have you been to is it Butameta or where in Lagos? There's a place where I witnessed one of the trains heading to Ibadan. OJ, that train. The last time I saw that train was in a movie that was acted in the 60s. As old as anything you can think of. And somebody with there eating 2 point something billion naira. Like you said, that money can fix a lot of things in the railway sector. And why is even corruption even at the railway level? So where I don't know where it's safe any longer.
That is where the story is even interesting. Okay,
railway.
Yeah, we've now been joined by our guests. Yes, Abraham, if you are ready for us, we are ready here too. Abraham, are you ready?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Good morning to you. Of course, we have Abraham Unaji, a public affairs analyst. This morning he's also an activist. It's nice, having you on the program. So yes, we've been discussing the meeting between Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State, and of course the former governor of Kano State, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. So what's your take on this meeting? Because it appears it has some political undertone. So as someone who is in politics, who knows much about what happens in Nigerian politics, do you read any meaning to that meeting yesterday, the closed door meeting between these two people?
Good morning, everybody in the studio. I watched closely when the former governor went to Oyo State, but after the closed door meeting, he said it wasn't an realignment. It's just that he went to open a new office in the state capital. So, but the politicians will always be politicians because they always find a way to miss work. Because right now, if you can see, the professor is not himself. Looking at his godson who left him for APC. So he's not really finding it easy at the moment. So I guess probably that is why the closed door meeting, because after the closed door
Mr. Abraham, are you saying that Kwankwaso is looking for solace? Because he says he's not himself anymore, that he has lost his godson to the APC. So is he looking for solace in Ibadan?
Yeah, he's looking for solace in Makinde, because Makinde is not anywhere in the other party like the ADC, where the David Marks and Atiku are. He's still standing on his feet with the PDP, telling everybody that DP is going to win the next 2027 election. So, you cannot stop the politicians from meeting at this moment, because they will continue this meeting until when their mind is settled for who and what they want to do.
Okay. So what could have prompted this meeting? Let's now look at the implication of the meeting. Do you see a Kwankwaso dumping NNPP anytime soon?
No, I don't see him dumping the party, because that has been the bone of contention all this while. He always said that I cannot leave the child I brought up. That is the Compasia movement, the NMPP. He will tell you that nothing will make him leave that party for another. So I think he is always standing on his ground to tell you, I'm not ready for any alignment or to go and realign, because we heard one time that he went to the the villa to greet the president, and that is one of the permutation people keep bringing up, that he is ready to go out of the party he formed. So, well, I'm not, that. I don't see Kwankwaso leaving NMPP any moment from now. I don't see it because he had a lot of followers, a lot of young men in Kano, because the party is more dominant in Kano than anywhere in Nigeria. So they want to leave a legacy of Aminu Kano, because these are some of the legacy that Aminu Kano had when he was alive. So people like Balarabe Musa, you could see that even he stayed in his party until he died. So these are some of the things. So if you do that, at least he's telling Nigerians that, look, we need to be consistent. We need to stand our ground on what we believe. That is ideology. But what we find today is everybody is going to the party with a lot of largesse. The party that will always give you one thing or the other. So I don't really value that. I look at it as political prostitution, because if you have ideology, you can hardly leave the party that grooms you. You can hardly leave the party that brought you into politics. So, but if you see them, everybody wants to go to the center. And what do you have at the center? What is so special at the center that everybody, those that we will have passion for, governors like Mba, governors like even Bayelsa, you are already rounding up your tenure, and you said you are moving to another party. Is it not that is to tell you that Nigerian politics is not yet set? The politicians are not yet ready. They are more like prostitutes. They move from one person to the other. So, according to our village palace, they said, you go where belle face. Abi? So, sometimes these are some of the things we find with these people. And we said, are we really in politics, or we are still moving left and center, looking for where will be of value to your selfish interest? Because if you look at Mr. President, if you want to make example, these are the politicians that we feel they have ideology. He never leave his party for another. He only aligned. He was the only opposition we had, even the time of Olusegun Obasanjo administration. So these are the kind of people we want to see. But if Kwankwaso is moving out of his party, then he's telling everybody that he don't have ideology. All he was doing is just how to get money from the party, how to take care of his family, and then you want to make name. But if you have ideology,
okay,
you stand by what.
Okay, now Chidi here in the studio, he told me a while ago that there is no way Kwankwaso will ever agree to become a vice or a running mate to anybody. And from what you've said, it appears you are aligning with Chidi somehow. That a Kwankwasia movement wouldn't want their master, Kwankwaso, to leave the party. He has to be someone like Aminu Kano, like you mentioned. So, do you think that if any platform gives Kwankwaso a ticket for vice presidential, a slot, he will not dump the NNPP and join?
Well, I see. You remember? I think last year when he had meetings with Peter Obi, and then these are some of the things he always brings on board, that he is not ready to deputize anybody. That if at all if anybody wants him to come to alliance, then he is ready to be the president, because according to him, he said he have more numbers of
Followers.
followers. I get it. That he has more followers than any of those people, and which is right, but his followers only ends in Kano. That is where the bone of contention is. His followers end only in Kano. Because even at the 2023 election, I didn't hear Kwankwasia in Katsina. I didn't hear Kwankwasia in Sokoto. I didn't hear Kwankwasia in Zamfara. You get the point?
Yes.
In Kano that was so pronounced. But even in the far northeast, I didn't hear of anything from Kwasia. So he's only dominant around Kano.
Okay. All right. Abraham, actually, I understand, the angle you are coming from, but unfortunately, time is not really
our friend.
Our friend, you didn't join when we expected it due to, I think, network hitches. But we appreciate your contribution on the show this morning concerning the meeting between Kwankwaso and, of course, the governor of your state, Sheyi Makinde. Thank you for your expertise this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right. So quickly, as we round up, Pachidi, you heard Abraham there.
Yes, I did.
And from his contribution, he sees Kwankwaso as someone who wants to, maintain that legacy he has been maintaining, not dumping his followers for whatever reason to any platform.
Kwankwaso have always been a principled man, even when he was the governor of Kano State.
Right.
He's a very principled man. He's a very disciplined, politically disciplined. He knows what he wants, and just like Mr. Emmanuel said, Abraham, sorry, Kwankwaso is not someone you can just bend that easily when he stands on what he wants. So seeing him accepting any vice presidential slot will be a tough one.
We just have to go, Chidi. When we are really enjoying the shows, the time will say, hey, please.
To pack your things and
you have to go. So thank you very much again.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yes. And this is where we end the Thursday edition of the P&B morning show. Special thanks to the team, especially to Josie, who, of course, is pressing all the necessary buttons behind the scene for us this morning. And on behalf of everyone, I want to say, have a lovely day ahead of you. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Bye-bye.